Well, the thing about our D&D is that I feel like we don't really have a ton of min-maxing going around. There's not really that much. We have pretty fun characters usually. This guy Hanzo is a fucking maniac with the way he designs characters. Like, he is like a min-maxer in the sense that he wants to min-max a weird-ass fucking character. That's how he is. He's like, how do I make this character just fucking weird and crazy? What was the story about the horse people? Oh, Jesus. That was the craziest D&D shit ever. We had to go talk to there was a horse. So we were in a magical city. Think about New York, a city the size of New York, except for it's magical. It's called Waterdeep. It's a humongous city. If you play D&D, you're familiar with it. There's a talking horse, apparently, that was like, it happened in some freak accident with the druids. We went to go talk to the horse, and we were like, hey, we need to get information about the horse, about somebody that somebody like that used your, like, the horse has like a chariot with it or whatever. Not a chariot, like a wagon. And someone used the wagon to move some shit. So we had to go talk to this horse, and we're like, hey, like, what the fuck is up? Did you move some shit for this guy the other day? It might have been illegal, etc. Right? As we're talking to the horse, we're getting information. We're kind of discussing all this kind of stuff, and all of a sudden, 3 horses come up, and they like block our path. And this guy is like, what's up? I'm with the horses gang. That's my girl you're talking to right there. Who the fuck do you think we are? And I'm like, bro, did we just get run up on by a group of gangster talking horses? Like, he's got the fucking fedora on and shit. He's like, that's my girl you're talking to. You're gonna just roll up in my street and talk to my girl like that? And I was like, we got a fucking talking horse gang that's gonna just confront us? I was like, Hanzo, your brain. How the fuck does your brain work that your first thought when there was one talking horse was, there should be a gang of talking horses that rolls up on you guys? This is Hanzo. It's not Ringe that did this. This is Hanzo. So we roll up and there's 3 horses. And all 3 horses have different powers. So the main horse, he's like, I don't even remember what the fuck he could do. First of all, he was a shithead and we fucked him up. But all 3 of these horses, there's one that could fly and shoot lightning. There's another one that could burrow under the ground and like swallow you. That was like his special ability. So we're fighting these stupid fucking gang of horses called the Horses gang that is fighting us because that horse that we were trying to give information from was his girl. It was the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. It's some Benny Hill ass shit. Our wizard got swallowed by the burrowing horse and then just burrowed back underground, and we were like, this fucking horse is gone. What are we supposed to do? One that was flying, it had a propeller hat, and he was flying and shooting lightning, and the other one could burrow, and then the main one just ran up and fucking fucked your shit up in melee. That's how it worked. But it was hilariously fun to fight against. It had a propeller hat. Yeah, that's how it flew. So obviously we're like, oh shit, we should get this propeller hat so that we could fly. So we're like trying to pull the propeller hat off, and then when we pulled it off, it was like attached to the horse's brain. And we were like, of course it is. Why didn't we just think of that? It's not an actual hat. It's part of the horse's head. Yeah, of course Hanzo thought of this. He's like, I'm not going to give them a flying propeller hat. My games are never this crazy. Well, our games are usually not that crazy either. But Hanzo is just an insane fucking, person. Our normal D&D games are much more normal. They're much more standard D&D. The only thing that happened recently was we definitely did some Metal Gear Solid shit. We did some crazy ass shit, and I got hoes in different area codes, like this lovely subscriber who dropped the 7 months. Thanks very much. Got horses in different area codes. We fought a Bahir, a fiendish Bahir, and we defeated it. And then we were chilling outside of the bad guy's lair. And you know how, like, when you need a rest in D&D, there's different things you can put up. So our wizard doesn't have Tiny Hut, which is the best way to rest in D&D. It creates like a hut that you can see out of, but people can't see into, and you can just rest into it. Instead of having that, our wizard had fucking Mordenkainen's private sanctum, which is like, why do you have that instead of Tiny Hut? I can't explain it to you. So we're hiding in our private sanctum, and we hear, like, one of us is doing a watch, and we hear that the bad guys are in this door, and it's a secret passageway to the bad guy's lair. And like Metal Gear Solid, we're like, fuck, what are we gonna do, man? So we're posted up outside this door. We're like, shit, we're trying to take a rest. All of us are beat up. Like, it's a secret entrance, so they don't come in and out of it often, but there's a chance that the enemy's gonna come outside. So literally, we hear the enemy about to come outside, and it's literally like Metal Gear Solid. We're like, all right, we all wait. As soon as he comes out the door, we're gonna pull him out and beat the shit out of him. So the door opens to the secret lair. There's 2 guards. One of them's walking out. The other's like on the other side of the room. We grab the guard that comes out. All of us attack him, and he just immediately dies. Immediately kill him. It's like Metal Gear. We grabbed him around the corner, choked him out. He's dead. So he dies, and his friend's like, what the fuck was that? So the other guard is like walking up like, what the fuck's going on here? So we're like, shit, what are we going to do? We just Metal Gear Solid something. right? We're like, we just Metal Gear Solid this guard for no fucking reason. And now, like, this whole fortress of people is going to be on alert if we're not careful. So we pretended I was the bard. So I pretended that I was the dragon that we just slayed that lived right outside. And I was like, hey, motherfuckers, relax. It's me, the dragon. You just stepped out into my lair. Fuck you. And I rolled like a 30 on my persuasion check, and it worked. But it was like one of those moments where, like, you really only get away with it in D&D because literally it's Metal Gear Solid. That's the only reason. Like, Ringe was like, you know, it was just so funny that, like, I had to let it slide because we rolled absurdly on the persuasion, and we literally Metal Gear Solid a guard. We just dragged him out, beat the shit out of him, and he was dead. Immediately killed him. We did like 50 damage with all 4 of us attacking at once or whatever. Only in D&D can you get away with stupid ass shit like this. It's such a unique game. We have our group as a fighter, a brute fighter, shadow monk, evocation wizard, lore bard. That's the 4-man group we have. Pretty strong group. We have a shit ton of damage. That's the one thing about us. We have an evocation wizard, which just blasts things. We have a shadow monk that just teleports around the battlefield, like stunning everybody. We have a fighter who just destroys everything that moves. And then the bard is like just the stability, battlefield control. Well, the plan is to stream our D&D. It's just not the plan to stream it right now. We were planning on, we have a current campaign that we've been playing for like a year and a half. That's why we're level 10 now. And we were planning on streaming either that or a brand new campaign. And most people said a new campaign. If you haven't followed much of D&D, starting at level 12, which is what we would start at, is pretty high level. It's pretty crazy. That's when shit's like, who knows what the fuck's gonna happen, right? It's like, who the fuck knows what's going on in the world anymore? So yeah, we figured starting at level 1 was a little bit safer for a stream audience who's like confused about how the fuck D&D works.